Hey guys, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO. I hope you guys are rocking it out. I'm excited, getting ready to head out to Central Florida. My baby girl, Lena, 7 years old, has her first competitive gymnastics meet of the season. We started her in this at about 5, and I mean, God just blessed this little girl with some talent. She's had awesome coaches, and she is excited about what this new year is going to bring. Also, with all the regulatory stuff that's been going on, I challenge you, be at the Direct Selling Edge Conference, October 5th and 6th, Dallas, Texas. dsedge.com, get your tickets. Hey, I'm coming to you guys today because we got a lawsuit that just came out, and it's going to be the talk of the town by some people because both of these companies that are involved, there's 3 companies involved, but 2 of them are direct selling companies, and one of them has had momentum. They had momentum for about a year and a half. That's ForeverGreen, and then it started to slack off as people moved to other companies, as the strips that they were selling with FG Express didn't exactly work for everybody the way people thought they would, and they've seen a slide down. And now they're trying to come out with this new ketone product that they have. And that's where we get into the lawsuit. That's what's going on. And Pruvit Ventures has filed a tortious interference, and it looks like fraud, breach of contract. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, and it includes ForeverGreen, Axcess Global Sciences, and of course Pruvit. And you know, I'm going to talk about this because it's depressing, really. I've been behind the scenes. I've talked with Pruvit people. Pruvit, by the way, one of their top investors is a client of mine. ForeverGreen, I have several friends and one client who has invested millions into that company. I had a vested reason to say, let's keep this out of court, settle it, work it out. I don't want to see anybody's monies get upside down. Sadly, after the second quarter earnings call and now this lawsuit's out, ForeverGreen stock has gone from $1.20 to 79 cents. So I'm not pleased with this. Neither are the investors in that company right now. But Jennifer Grace is the attorney for Pruvit. A lot of you guys don't know Jennifer. She's not your typical network marketing attorney that's out there in the limelight all the time. She takes very few clients, but when she takes on a client, she wins. A few years ago, Terry LaCour over at BHIP hired her to represent him in BHIP against Amway. And we all were looking at this saying, man, this is going to be a tough one here because Amway they're a billion-dollar company. They put millions into their legal team every year. And Jennifer Grace looked at it and said, that's not a problem. We'll put a team together, we'll fight it, and we will win. And she did. I've met her several times. I've talked to her numerous times. Wonderful attorney, very articulate, very detailed. When she takes a case, you know that she feels the underlying evidence is strong for her client. So I say that because this is going to be some he said, she said type stuff until we get Ron Williams' side. I texted him and emailed him this morning, said, Ron, please, I'm going to go public with Pruvit because they filed the lawsuit. Now I want you to give me your side. We want to get it out there. We want to make sure that both sides are heard. Here's a general summary of the case. This matter arises from the desire by Axcess to sell technology to the highest bidder, no matter the cost or harm to the parties seeking to make the technology available for use. I'm going to put this, don't worry about all this. I'm going to put it all up on the blog. Axcess is the exclusive licensee of ketone technology patented by the University of South Florida. Now you know why I'm involved here. University of South Florida, my home state here. Axcess stands to profit under the license based on the sub-license of the technology to others. Axcess found interest with ForeverGreen and Pruvit. Unfortunately, after Pruvit entered into a binding contract with Axcess and relied on that to create a complete company concept, Axcess sought to strike what it believed would be a more lucrative deal with ForeverGreen. That's the background. I mean, that's the basis. Now, here's the background. I thought this was very interesting. It has lined up with what both Ron Williams over at ForeverGreen has told me and what the executives and some of the investors over at Pruvit have told me. Here's what it says. The parties of this lawsuit begin their relationship as a collaboration to bring the technology developed at the University of South Florida to the marketplace. Both the investors and the officers at Pruvit and Ron Williams has stated that. He mentioned that one of the investors had been in his offices, that they had discussed this several times, they'd had phone calls, the whole works, and they could never, ever decide to come to an agreement. And then behind his back, this is his words, behind his back, Pruvit went ahead and launched their company. Well, I know the investors that are involved over at Pruvit. Brian Underwood has been not just a client, but a very, very close friend for several years. And in talking to them and seeing how things have worked and fully getting a grasp of things, that definitely is not totally the way things happen. Definitely the Pruvit people were there. They were trying to figure something out. They put that in the lawsuit. But I think what happened was Axcess Global realized, well, hey, if ForeverGreen's going to be in this mix too, maybe we can get more money from them. And it's been purported that Ron Williams and the shareholders over at ForeverGreen offered them 1 million shares to give them a worldwide exclusive rights. So that's where it is. By the way, Pruvit doesn't have worldwide or even claim exclusive rights. They just had North America, Canada, America, and they were focused in on the MLM side of things. So just so you guys know that. Here we go. Cause, breach of non-exclusive. Pruvit and Axcess entered into a non-exclusive sub-license agreement December 31st, 2014. Now, there's emails, conversations, the whole kit and caboodle. I mean, stuff like crazy that's out there. But when Pruvit, according to Pruvit's people, according to the stuff that I've heard, the stuff that I've read, they went to the agent, Ron Rogers of Axcess Global, and Ron said, hey, there's no one else doing anything with this right now. It's dead in the water. ForeverGreen, nobody picked it up. We don't have an agreement with anybody. Go for it. And they inked the deal. Then sometime in the first quarter of 2015 is when ForeverGreen decided, whoa, wait a minute. We're going to go cut a deal. We're going to offer them more money. We're going to offer them all this stuff. And I don't know all the percentages and the royalties and all that, but it's clear in the lawsuit that's how Axcess makes their money. So that's why I'm bringing that up. So December 31st, 2014, I remember that day because Brian called me and said, it's done. We're in. It's like, perfect, man. Let's rock this thing forward. What else does she say? License the products. After the agreement was signed with Axcess Global represented that it was agreed to by the University of South Florida. Pruvit, in reliance thereon, took upon developing the products and the licensing patents utilized by the licensing patent, putting their brand together and doing everything else. And it just didn't go that way. Going down and see if there's anything else here. Pruvit says Axcess Global breached the agreement by failing to adequately license the technology to Pruvit, thereafter licensing the technology to ForeverGreen within the licensed territory of North America and basically North America is what they did. While disputing the existence of the contract, Axcess wrongfully sent a notice of termination to Pruvit and embroiled themselves in a subterfuge between Pruvit and ForeverGreen. Kind of what it looks like here. Pruvit's looking at $3 million in damages. Fraud. The fraud comes in because Rob Rogers, this is interesting, Axcess Global committed fraud by misrepresenting the status of the negotiations with ForeverGreen and the nature of its relationship with ForeverGreen. And according to Ron, they've had a 2.5-year relationship. He also believes, and we got to make this clear, Ron Williams also believes ForeverGreen has this. In their transcript right here, let me put this up. Their transcript, but we're going to put all this stuff up. He says right here, we've been setting on this for 2.5 years. Now, I don't think they've just been setting on it. Let's be realistic. We know that they launched FG Express. They had these little patches. They were going all over the place. They could say the FDA approved that they work. They don't work 100% of the time. From what we've seen, they work about 60% of the time. People got excited. BDAs went into place. Matter of fact, you can look at their Q and their K filings, and it shows where they give out at what they call advance commissions to members, anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 a quarter to people to come in. I've got a client whose former leaders had been offered deals over there. It's a crazy situation, but they're bringing the what they call their ketosis products to market. He says it's a mother's milk loaded with ketones. Don't know what that means. Doesn't matter what it means. Basically, they've stated that in their Q. So we know that he feels also that it's been going on for a couple of years. No problem with that. Axcess and emails from Gary Millett to Brian Underwood and others also falsely represented the nature of the licensed patents, including the rights associated to nutritional ketosis, with the possibilities of weight loss. So this goes into detail, very detailed. Now, what do we got to look at? What's this mean to the reps? What's this mean to all of you guys in the field? Here's what I want you to do. You need to be cautious on what you're saying about other companies. If you're with ForeverGreen, it is not wise for you to write anything, say anything that could be classified as slander, defamation, tortious interference of business, anything like that, because you can then be entered into the lawsuits yourself. Pruvit reps, don't be saying anything negative about ForeverGreen. Let the two companies work this out. I'm sure it's going to come to a conclusion. I believe now that Pruvit is, they're actually shipping product. They've shipped, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of $4 to $5 million worth of inventory now, maybe more than that. Rumor on the street from high influential people who are in ForeverGreen, they can't get their product. They're going on their third auto ship, being charged for product. Remember, they launched this product at their convention. A lot of people still haven't been able to get the product. That's a concern. If you've got inventory issues, if you can't get the right ingredients, in this case, the salts and stuff, because it's such a detailed patent, everything's got to be right. If you can't get all that stuff, it's a problem. But it's a real problem when you're charging people's cards and you haven't delivered the product. You've got to do something there. You've got to work something out. So I hope for the sake of both companies, this all gets worked out. Again, I've told Ron Williams, send me what you have. Let's get your words out there. We want to know where this is. But because the case finally got filed, we're bringing the case public. We want the companies to work it out. So reps, you both have great products. Go build with the products. Be cautious if you're in ForeverGreen if you can't deliver on those products, but go build and do the. I've tasted the products, at least from one company. Ron's never sent me anything. Don't know why, but Brian Underwood has sent me the product. I've used the product. It's been a phenomenal product. Some people, when they go in and use ketones and stuff, they can have some weird different issues. Like anything in the marketplace today, it works differently for every person. That's the key. Live life like it's an epic adventure. Stay dangerous, stay strong, and if you're in network marketing, act like it.